What's up, everybody, and welcome to All for Footy, the AFL podcast where good friends gather and gab about last week's games, this week's games, and everything in between. Go find us on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify, so go please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host, Mr. 9 out of 9, Nathan Norman, joined, as always, by the Big Daddy, Daniel Reeby.
Oh, how are we, boys? I'm just got the dog yapping at me at the back door there, and come back. He was a bit nervy because he wasn't sure if he was going to be allowed on the show tonight, but tried to kick him out early. But
Still not allowed.
geez, I'm glad to have just made it in. I mean, after the tipping competition party on the weekend that you threw for us with the big limousine ride up to the city and I mean, thank you so much for putting on that huge night.
Was that a Limo City limo?
Limo City was sponsored us for the night and chucked in a free Hummer and got all the boys up to, because obviously
all the boys, did you say?
And it was just a huge night, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I rolled up, and I'm like, is this honestly the prize for winning the tips? And I was just, I was so overwhelmed, it was a big night, but we got home in one piece, and we had a lot of fun, didn't we, Stuart?
Oh, mate. Unbelievable. Yeah. One of the best nights of my life.
But, so, mate, to win the tips and to honestly get a surprise limo to the city, and it was only, we were out for about 4 hours. We just went to a pub, had a good fair few beers, enjoyed the hour in the Hummer there and the hour on the way home, and it was just cheers. Thanks to everyone for putting on the night. And
it's a responsible.
Cheers for the invite.
Look, I know you were busy
on
the
night,
Rick.
We knew you were busy.
Hopefully next year you win the tips, and you can.
Then you can celebrate.
You can be the bride.
I was coming home with a wet sail, mate. Like
you were. You almost.
Halfway through the year, I was last, and then I stormed home to come third. So just to bring home the OGs, it was a pretty good feeling, eh?
Yeah,
especially to get that 9 out of 9 on the last round as well to bring me in there.
Remember, I set a stick because we were tipping the same a lot there through the pod on that last week, and I remembered that Sunday we had the same games all the way down the line because you said Saints and I was going Dogs, and we both said Port. And what a day that Sunday was, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a pretty good Sunday, but yeah, I'll get to that.
I almost overtook Reeves. Almost. I could have on that day.
Oh, I know. I was worried about it too. It was
so close, man. So close.
Oh, but it all relies on the last day, and you're second place, and you're just like, I can get first if this happens and this happens. Just know.
Well, I knew that Rick didn't get first because he had the same as me, but he could have overtaken you potentially. Well, I thought maybe he might overtake you with his 9, but
no, he couldn't overtake me.
Good year of tips and well celebrated. A hard-earned season celebrated hard.
Absolutely. Well done. Tip the cap to you.
Well done, everybody. And that person you're hearing is the man-sized mountain. He is the Rick Parker.
And I asked you to introduce me as Mr. 9 out of 9 because obviously I got 9 tips out of 9 tips on the last round of football that was
2
played.
weeks ago.
He doesn't give that up.
Yeah, but this is the first time I'm on. But thanks for that nice introduction anyway. Otherwise, Mr. Nathan.
Man-sized mountain.
But happy to be here. Footy's done for me in the locals now. So unfortunately, we got knocked out of the finals race pretty early. So that's done and dusted. But look, we still got a hat in the ring with the Dogs. Big week for the Dogs this week, so happy to get into that. And how was your week, Mr. Nathan?
Yes, well, the tipping comp party was just too insane. It sort of wiped me out for the whole weekend. So we'll just leave it at that. Alright, well, with that, he is faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. He can leap tall buildings in a single bound. He is the man of steel, Steelo.
Thanks very much. Nice to see you guys. Good to be here.
Welcome on camera this time.
What a week! What a week! Do you remember the very first time?
September. Wait, calm down. You're sounding a bit too spot on. We might get copyright struck, so calm down.
No,
all right. You know, if you sing it too well, they're like, "That's the song. That's the song they recorded."
That was amazing. We're here. We're finally here. It's where you want to be. It's where it all happens. It's where legends are made. Sun comes out. Gets a bit harder to play footy, and gets a bit harder to win games. That's for sure.
That is for sure.
Absolutely stoked. And it's going to be a good night. Can't wait to hear what everyone has to say about this week.
Thought I'd dust out beanie tonight just to go rivalry with Steelo there.
We've had the week off as well, so just raring to go. Absolutely keen. No footy, so can't wait to get into it. Can't wait till Friday night and then, or even Thursday night actually.
Starts Thursday, mate.
Yeah, just tomorrow. So, yeah.
No, day after.
Day after?
No, just tomorrow.
Depends what day you're listening.
It depends what days you're listening, I guess. But yeah, that's the one.
Let's move on. All right, well, let's go on about the AFLW this week. Oh, what a big win from the girls Saturday night. I only want to talk about one game. Don't worry, guys. And that is, of course, Melbourne versus Geelong on Saturday night. Did you see it, guys? Did you watch it?
Big win to Melbourne, wasn't it?
Big win to Melbourne.
It was a massive win to Melbourne.
Loving it, you know.
And that Saina's got a huge win too. I'm up and about the big season coming up. I mean, I kept all the stuff up this year, you know, all the red, white and black. I thought, you know, the blokes had an alright year, but now the season's really getting started and got off on the right start with a big win as well, the Saints. So,
Let's go. All right, well, I guess with that, we shall move into our ladder.
You're not going to touch on any other scores?
Sorry?
You're not going to touch on any of the other scores?
No, I only really follow my team in the AFLW, so that's all I really...
Yeah.
I didn't even give the scores of the game.
I see North Melbourne beat Brisbane there in the grand final rematch, and I think Adelaide might have triumphed over Port Adelaide in the hometown derby over there, and... there were some very good results. I mean, there's a few sides in that competition that you'd say are probably the stronger sides, but obviously you're going to have a few that break up into the pack, and I feel like Hawthorn might be one of those teams this year. Started with a good starting win as well against Carlton on the weekend, and I mean, I followed most of that round. I was quite entrenched in it, and obviously with a bit more time up my sleeve, being a St Kilda supporter, obviously not in the... I know you're probably breaking down the Hawks' defence there, Rick, and their small forwards and doing a bit more different study. But I was all over it on the weekend. It was really good. Good brand of footy too. I mean, they really upped their skills. I mean, I was enjoying watching some of the kicking there from the women.
Yeah.
Really good foot skills on offer there, and
better every year.
The run's not as. They're not moving the ball from end to end as fast as the
No, it's a different... Yeah, it is different, of course.
To get behind the ball and all that, and the scoring's probably still going to stay a bit lower, but they're just... Yeah, the skill, really hats off watching it. I was actually really enjoying the contest.
You just want to
hence watching more. I ended up watching most of the game, so...
Yeah.
I watched the Saints and Suns game, and Jesus Christ, I think her name was Jessie Wardlaw. But she tore them apart, and she ended up kicking 2 goals as well. But you can see the skills really starting to come along with the women's football. It's really enjoyable to watch, and I'll be paying close attention to this season, like I have the last few seasons as well, to see how much better they've gotten over the off season.
Yeah, well, because I will be going this week actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jai's going to be in the Guard of Honour for the Saints team as they run out through the banner. It's got a
beautiful
little birthday party, and one of the friends' side of the family, his uncle, is the ground manager at Moorabbin, so he's offered for all the kids to come out and do all this stuff. And so Jai's going to be there, and I'll be there watching the game and wishing on the girls. But So, no, but Sydney, tough opposition. So, yeah, it'll be a big game at Moorabbin on Sunday, but I'm really looking forward to getting there. It will be my first St Kilda game attended since the great flogging that I went to with you, Mr. Parker, many a year ago.
Well, there we go. Anyway, let's move on from our AFLW talk. I'm going to be watching the D's as well, though I don't expect much because apparently we got absolutely raided last season.
Oh.
So.
And you lost
The
Dave.
dogs got pumped by GWS on the weekend as well, so...
Who did?
The dogs.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Alright, well, let's move on to the ladder predictions of 2024. Alright. I've just thrown the ladder up there. As you know, this is the current ladder of 2024. So this is what our predicted ladders will be going by. And I think I'm going to start off with the one man who isn't here. It's Mr. Ryan Fenton. I'm going to start with him. So, do you remember how this works from last year, guys?
No, you'll have to quickly refresh my memory.
I remember.
Do you get like a plus score if it's over where you projected, or a minus score if it's under?
No, what it is wherever you put it on the ladder, you get a point for each team away it is from where it is on the ladder at the end of the year. So if you guess it right, you get 0. If you're like 3 spots away, you get 3. Where it's up or down,
most
it's 3
points
spots
lose,
around.
yeah.
Most points lose, lower points win. So very basic, and yeah, it's also just interesting to see where our heads were at the beginning of the year, and who we thought were,
Where were our heads at, Nathan?
Where was our heads at? So I'm going to start with Ryan's one. So Ryan put Brizzy at the top of the pack. Collingwood coming in at second, Port Adelaide at third, and then one of the 2 spot-on ones he gets, GWS at 4th. He did nail that one. So yeah, I won't go through them all. I'll just mention the big misses and the close calls, I guess. So yeah, Port Adelaide was pretty close, 1 off. Melbourne, 7 off. He came in at 7th. And then Geelong had them at 10th. 7 away. It was very, not so good on Geelong, but not so hopeful on Geelong this year. And then Hawthorn 8 spots away from where they finished, of course. And North Melbourne, bang on. He put them at 17th. So with all the collection of points, he ended up with 74. Now, we don't know if that's a good score or not because we don't. Yeah.
Well played.
Good effort.
Now, we don't actually know if that's actually good or not because we don't know what everybody else's scores are like. So, he could have a really good one, or maybe he could have a really bad one, depending on who else goes. So, without further ado, I'm going to move on to the next person who we probably think didn't do too well, just by a couple of things, So, Mr. Daniel Raby. This is going to be fun. This is going to be funny, alright? Because, as you're aware, because I made you aware, you did add Fremantle twice.
Yeah.
Right? And you didn't add Hawthorn or Essendon. So,
Well, they just missed Essendon.
so Hawthorn... So, you pretty much got 19 teams we're going by. Hawthorn or Essendon are 18th and 19th. And then we count all the spots in between. So you put Freo in twice, so we're counting them twice from where their spot was.
If I win this, it's like with a handicap.
It would be. It would be like with a handicap, absolutely. So
Where did he have Freo finishing?
He had Freo finishing 16th and 11th. So it was one off on one of them. One of them was not too bad.
I like to spread my chips out,
Ready? Do you know who you put up at the top at the beginning of the year? Your top 4.
I believe I picked Brisbane.
Sydney, didn't you?
Who was? Oh, go in order. 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you reckon?
Brisbane.
At 1?
Sydney.
Sydney.
Giant. Collingwood.
All right, so GWS number 1, Sydney number 2,
Oh,
Brisbane number 3, Collingwood number 4.
yeah.
So your biggest miss, Hawthorn, because you didn't put them in, so they went in at 18th, so they were 11 spots off. It's very bad, very crushing for you, unfortunately.
Percentage killer.
Other than that, Geelong, you had Geelong 9 off. But
I meant
you
I
did
meant to have
nail
Essendon at 9th, I thought.
Essendon.
Yeah.
Essendon was 19th because you did not put them in. So
I meant to have them at 9th.
yeah, unfortunate.
And he didn't pick the Hawks either, did he?
Hawks. No. So he got 11 off for the Hawks because Hawks came in at 18th, filled that 18th spot. So
Right.
is
Grand
what it
total.
is. Grand total. Oh, first of all, you did nail a team. You did get a 0 on a team. Who do you reckon it was?
Doggies.
Melbourne.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Prick.
yeah.
Alright. I'll give you a score then, mate. You came in with an 81.
Ooh.
So, sorry,
It was
sir.
a bit of wind.
So Fenno's got the lead at the moment.
Fenno's got the lead.
With
he's
what,
got the lead
74?
by 7. Yeah.
Yes.
74-81.
75?
74-81.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I'm going to come at you now, Rick. You're next. Sorry, Steeler, you didn't do one at the beginning of the year. Next year,
No.
jump on board.
I got nothing to lose.
He gets a 0. That's the lowest score of all.
You got every team right. Anyway.
Alright, well, Rick, do you reckon you could name your top 4?
Oh, yeah, easy. I had Sydney, Collingwood, Brisbane, and Carlton.
No, you did not.
Oh, shit.
You had GWS, Carlton, Collingwood, and Western Bulldogs.
Are you looking at your phone thinking you've got it written there, Rick?
He probably is.
Yeah, I've got it written here.
Too bad. I went back and listened to the episode and wrote down all the teams you put in order. So I don't know what list you're reading. It's not the one you put on the pod.
Yeah.
It's not what you had on the pod. You had GWS first, Carlton second,
Four.
Collingwood third, and Doggies fourth.
4.
This is
You can
controversial.
go back and listen.
And he's got it written on his phone there.
Yeah, but he might have altered it, or might have changed his mind on the pod night. We're going by what was said on the pod.
I've also got mine written on a piece of paper just out in the kitchen. If you just give me about 2 minutes, I'll go get it.
No, it doesn't work like that. You said what you said on the pod. That's what you said, and that's what I'm going by. What Rick said. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, this is dodge.
It's not dodge. Go and listen to it.
Wait and see what you come in at, and then we can recount ourselves if we can do a re-listen.
Absolutely.
later.
You can go back to the previous episode where we did the ladder predictions, and you can have a look at them yourself.
Send us a screenshot of that one there, Rick.
Well, what's the point? You know. Anyway.
This is good. We need, So give us what you had for Rick.
All right. So Rick had 2 big misses in Fremantle and Adelaide. Adelaide, you had 7th, and Fremantle, you had for the wooden spoon.
Oh.
Yeah, there was no Freo love at the beginning of the year when we were giving ours out. Now you did nail one position in the top 8. Brisbane.
You're lying.
I think Rick's got like a 60.
You think he has a 60
No.
to you?
Like 60 something.
Alright, so what was my top 8? So I had GWS.
Carlton, Collingwood, Doggies, then Brisbane, then Sydney, then Adelaide, then St Kilda making the 8 for some reason. I don't know why you had that.
We're off with the Saints there. We finished 11th.
Yeah, he's only 4 off.
So he's not conceding a lot here.
Hey,
Rick's gonna have
Saints
a
finished
goal.
12th. None of this fucking talking up Saints shit, alright? They finished 12th, not 11th. They're shitter than you thought they were.
11th-ish. I said 11th-ish.
Okay, alright, sorry, my apologies.
Alright, go on,
Alright,
keep
want to know your
going.
score? 78.
More.
78.
78.
Well played, though. Well played.
Halfway between Wheels and Reeby. So we've got the last one. Me.
Oh, here we go.
Hmm.
Now, I only got one perfect... Now, I already know mine. I already know mine. But I got one perfect pick, and that was Sydney, top of the ladder. I called it.
Starting off well.
Yeah.
I called it. I did. I started off well. But not only that, my biggest miss was Gold Coast. I put them 5th. And yeah,
Winning season, by then.
just 8 off. But yeah, no, I actually did really well, guys. Because I got a number of one-offs. Like I had Brisbane at 4th.
Of course you did.
Carlton at
Here
9th,
we go.
Saints at 11th. I had North at 16th and Richmond at 17th. West Coast at 18th. I did really well. 62 points. So,
Wow.
Well, I think we'll be doing
Curb
it definitely. I might head around to Rick's house one afternoon, and we might just sit and have a little listen.
go
But,
listen. Go listen. It's great. I love it.
When we kick it off, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I might
Winner,
get heading your way.
winner of the 2024 Ladder Predictions Championship. It's me. Haha, Mr. 9 out of 9.
Good work, mate.
No, thank you. Thanks, Steelo. Thanks, Steelo. Hope
Yeah.
to see you win it next year.
Want a redraw. We want a redraw.
Hope
Why
to
don't we
see-
do a finals predictor?
We could do a finals predictor. Absolutely.
Well, no, actually, because the tips page is there. So just to let everyone know that we will be doing tips, but it won't be part of the official competition. But we will be running it as we'll talk about it if someone gets the perfect 4 next week. So put your tips in, and that's probably as good as we get as a.
And yeah, we'll have like a separate score. Like, we'll reset everything internally just to be like, all right, who gets the most tips in the finals, which will probably be. I think there'll be probably be a tie, most likely.
Just a 9 out of 9.
Well, there's only like what 9 games left, isn't there? So
Perfect 9.
I just want to know, is it actually Mr. 9 out of 9 or is it Mr. 18 out of 18?
Or
I don't
Mr.
know.
9.
I have no
19.
idea.
Is it
I think it's
19?
9 out of 9. I think it's 9 out of 9. I think they just stick to that. You know, that's what they say. That's what they call me. So, you know.
Yeah, we'll double it up. That's 18. How you do
No,
things,
I
man.
don't think I've heard them say that, Steeler. I think that.
Well, I heard Neil got a 19.
Maybe one day.
In a rogue tipping competition.
This, you've got all the teams. You've got all the teams in order, you know, with the tipping on the ladder. Like 18 teams, all right?
Yeah.
And you're missing 9 out of 9, so that's doubled up. There's levels to this. Like a circle.
It never ends. It never ends. But
Maybe.
this
There's
ladder prediction segment has ended, so let's move on.
Yeah. Trying to move on.
Yeah.
To the tipping results. Just a reminder, Reeby won the tipping results. Congratulations, Daniel Reeby.
Oh. Look. Thank you.
Fine. You don't mind. Easy win.
Yeah.
Almost got chased down, didn't you?
Almost. I was nervous about it. That's why we. Yeah. No.
Hey,
it
look.
was. Hopefully, I can go back to back. You know, it's my real aim, and I'm already actually studying into next year's form. Just by following the draft a bit early. Just, you know, a lot of little things you can pick up on there
Yeah,
to
of
get
course.
some one. You really got to get off to a good start. You know, it's the things you got to teach your kids. You know, like don't waste a season of tips. Get off to a good start. Then you're in it.
Yeah,
Then
don't.
you're up there.
Never.
You know, feel good all year. You know, you just feel great when you're going to work week in, week out, just focusing on tips. And just
Well, thank you for those wise words to our young listeners out there. Thank you. All right, well, let's move on to this week's games. Guys, bit of a light one this week. But for some
Nice.
reason, starting Thursday. So Thursday night footy is back.
did
Thursday
you say
night.
it's a bit of a light one?
Sorry?
You say it's a bit of a light one,
Yeah, only 4 games. Only
mate.
4
This is like
games.
the biggest week of footy almost of the year. You
Only
got
4 games.
absolute catastrophically huge finals coming up, and you're calling it a bit
Oh,
of a light one.
what? 2 teams will be eliminated. 2 teams in the bottom four of the 8 will be eliminated. Don't give a fuck.
You're calling this a heavyweight one.
Grab your footies.
This is a big week of footy.
Hold on to your footies. It's going to be an absolute barn burner.
Let's talk it up.
Yeah, I feel like you're jumping at making assumptions that it's going to be a barn burner because Thursday night
think it will
football.
be.
Thursday night football at Adelaide Oval. It is Port Adelaide versus Geelong. In what Steelo says is a barn burner, but Raby, what do you say it is?
Oh, wow. I mean, I have really liked Port Adelaide the last few weeks to the point where I started fancying them for the flag.
Yeah.
But then I just... So obviously you take that into consideration, but I really see Geelong going over there this week and upsetting Port Adelaide. Obviously it doesn't put Port out for the year, but it's going to make it real tough for them now being on the away side of the draw. And I just think with a couple of weeks to prepare for this big game, and he's got a lot of big chips in the game here, Chris Scott, and he's a very smart coach, and he'll know how to play Port down. Don't forget they had that big game at the Cattery where Port got out to about a 50-point lead, and Geelong actually reeled them right back to within a goal. So, both teams have a weird feel on each other through it all, and I just think Geelong. I'm going to go Geelong here in a real big one, but maybe a coaching master move sort of night where a few of the right moves fall Geelong's way, because there's so many big players in the game, even from Stewart. The way that do they tag him or do they just let their midfield run free? And there's going to be so many interesting watches in the game, and obviously you've got Cameron. I mean, the way he can dominate a game. I mean, you've got to pay some attention there, and that can take away from Port's game again if they're focusing too much on Stewart and Cameron. So, all the way all these things will crumble will really determine the way the game goes. But I'll go Cats.
Cats, fair enough. Mr. Rick Parker, who have you got?
Well, so I too have the Cats. I think the pressure lies on Port Adelaide here. They've been to a lot of final series, in concurrent seasons recently, and they've not really done too much. They've gotten to a couple of prelims, they've been knocked out, straight sets, and so there's a lot of pressure on the guys at Port Adelaide to actually, get to the grand final and
the game style.
Look, Geelong's game style is a lot different. None of their most of their players, they don't rack up a heap of possession because they share the ball around so well, and they can get themselves out into space quite easily. So I think you'll find that maybe like one or two players would get over 30 possessions for the Cats throughout the year, but that was really about it. But like I was saying, the pressure on Port Adelaide and Kenny Hinkley, I reckon it's going to bear too much to it for them, and the Cats are going to come out and just get a sneaky win, I reckon, and sign another prelim final.
Bam, that's the verdict from Mr. Parker. Steelo, who have you got?
Yeah, it's going to be a rip-up. Oh, it's going to be kick the week off with a bang. Yeah, I reckon it will be a very close game. It's going to be a ripper to watch. I think Geelong maybe they've just had a good transition. They've never left. They've always had experience handing the baton over to the new generation, and seems like that experience has funneled through to the even the young players that they've got at the moment. They play with such level heads, and like they always know how to play and how to handle the big moments. Seems Geelong just a bit more mature than other clubs, and also the youngster though, being awarded the Rising Star just recently should give him a bit of an extra.
Young Dempsey.
Well, yep.
Take note.
The young talent with the old head.
Congratulations to him.
And they're going to be pretty hard to beat. Port Adelaide, as good as they are, they can still be a lot better. I know they have more, like a higher potential, and the best players have only just starting to play the best footy, just starting to reach their prime. So, hey, in my opinion, I just don't think they're ready for the flag just yet. So think they'll get knocked off, but we'll see if it's this week or not. I'm not too sure. See if they can fire. They'll definitely be able to beat Geelong if all their guns can fire.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Just not sure if that'll be the case. They might just buckle a little bit under the pressure, whereas Geelong just seems to have that level head, and they've got all their stocks in the right place at the moment.
How many stocks do they really have in stock?
A lot of stocks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus more, I think.
Yeah. Well, geez, everybody's Geelong across the board, all jumping on the friend train. I'm going Port.
What train?
I'm going Port.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I reckon. Come on, Port. It's about time. Do it. They were up there last year. They seem to be.
Could
like
it be shades of like the?
To challenge.
What was that? Could it be shades of like the 07 grand final? Was it the 07 grand final where Geelong absolutely smashed Port?
Yeah, well, they'll be looking to get back on that one. Jesus. But yeah. Hey, fun enough, guys. There's only one. Are you guys aware of the only team to have not gotten the wooden spoon in the AFL?
Is it Port Adelaide?
Raby, Steele, do you have guesses?
I guess, seeing as you're mentioning it, it must be. It couldn't be the Demons though.
Or GWS?
Long.
No, you said Port.
No, it's North Melbourne.
North Melbourne have never won the spoon.
I know. I actually heard that once, and I was because obviously they had all their strong years, and since they bottomed out, they've always found a way to just never finish bottom. But...
Okay, all right. I got Port and North. Steelo, who have you got?
Oh, we're guessing, are we? Okay.
Yeah.
Far out. Now I'm going to say, we're back to Lions, baby. We're back to Brisbane count. It's just the Brisbane Lions. We'll say the Lions.
Yeah. So actually, Rick was correct. It was Port Adelaide to never have won. Never have gotten the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
So I've actually got some interesting
They've always
stats
been
here.
a pretty strong side.
They have been pretty good.
The last,
years.
the team to go the longest without getting the spoon, Hawthorn, 1965. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Geelong, 1958. Haven't had the spoon since then.
Yeah, there you go.
That's insane.
Did you say steak?
And then Hawthorn, 1965, just 7 years after that. And then, yeah, it's a couple of teams in the 90s. And then most of them are in the 2000s and up. It's pretty fascinating.
Isn't it like 20 years to the day today as well that Essendon last won a final?
I think something like that, yeah.
I think it's 20 years to the day today.
Poor
20 years to the day.
Oh,
Ridiculous. Geelong are just the perennials. All the time. They're always there and about. They're never down the bottom.
Never. It's pretty insane. Like, weren't we expecting a bit of downfall from them because they were like losing some of their older players, and well, they still are. But
Place like me, mate. If you're not surfing, you're playing footy out there. I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of players
it's
to
just lifestyle. Lifestyle is just owning it. Football. Fair enough. Well, look, I'm still back in Port. I reckon Port can do this. So yeah.
They just go down and scout players out on the beaches. Just go down the surf coast and just, oh, you look like you could play footy.
That'd be nice if that's how they did it. It means Melbourne would smack them every week. It'd be good. I wish they did it like that.
Oh, you wish.
Yeah, I do wish. All right, let's move on to the next game. Friday night football at the G. It was the Doggies versus Hawthorn. Friday night football, Reeves. Who you got?
Oh, well, it is just humdinging in it. I mean, we're just going to be settling down from watching the Caddies get up over in Adelaide and, hopefully fly back home and sneak back into bed and go to work Friday, I suppose, and then come home and Mum's going to be here. And, I don't know. I was sort of keen to maybe try and catch up with Rick. Don't know what he's doing yet, but there's a hawk, there's a dog, and it can be messy. But,
Can be.
And, I mean, I'm really leaning towards going to Rick's house instead of hanging out with Mum. I mean, I just think the Dogs are just going to be more pure in a big game than maybe a young Hawks that haven't experienced this sort of thing. And they've got all the weapons here, the Dogs, and it's at the G, which just gives them so much room for their forwards to move. And I mean, I know the Hawks can be just as dangerous the other way, but I just think they've been on a good run. And I just think the Dogs aren't silly here. They've watched what the Hawks have done for a few weeks. They've seen them be slippery and just, use the ball smart for a few chip kicks and the game style they've been employing and, and just run and gun in numbers. And it's nothing fancy. And I just think they're super ready for it. And, Bevo will have the boys just humming. And a massive condolence to the Schultz family as well after the passing of Mr. Schultz, who handed the cup over to the Doggies when they won the premiership there. And I just think there's something inspiring about the Dogs this year. And I'm on the train a bit there, Mr. Parker. I reckon
there we go.
It might be more than one victory. Especially if you salute this week, I don't see why they won't get on a bit of a run. And but yeah, then same goes the other way though. If Hawks win, I think they're going to be bloody dangerous because if they beat the Dogs, I mean, it's going to be a real big win. Dogs are going to be the ultimate test, and they probably are one of the best teams in the comp right now. So what a bloody game! It's a bit of a shame. Dogs, I'm all over the Dogs here, mate. I think you should get it done.
Yeah,
maybe a solid 5 goals. I reckon by the time.
I'll tell you what. The last few games with Hawthorn, they've been very close, and they've had our measure. So, I'm a little bit worried going into this game, but knowing that the boys have been playing some decent football, and they're a little bit worn into the year. So
they're on
Bontempelli, he needs to turn it on once again. Trelaw's been pretty good throughout the year, and very good throughout the year, should I say? So, experienced heads should win. But look, Dogs for me, but I expect a close one as well.
Yeah. Well, look, Reeby's invited himself around to your house Saturday night. I've invited myself around to your house Saturday night, so it should be a good one.
Friday.
Friday night.
I was going to say the game's not on Saturday.
I would have turned up on the wrong. It's because it was the second game and it started on Thursday. I got in my own head about it. I hate Thursday night football.
No, she'll be good, mate. She'll be good.
Yeah, alright, sweet. I'll invite myself around. Alright, Steelo.
The other Mr. Parker on Friday night, actually. Just remember.
What's that?
After work hours with the kids. How funny is that? 2 Mr. Parkers in one Friday night. That could be good.
Oh, well, there you go. Alright. Well, Man of Steel. Steelo. Who you got?
I reckon it's just going to be an absolute rip schnotter. And, it's a brilliant match. And Foot's in great form at the moment, down at Foot to Scrooge. They beat the Lions by 4 points on the weekend, and looking mighty fine. Straight through to the semi-finals in the VFL, that is, in the Smithies. Straight through to the semis, so they'll have the week off down there this week.
Lions.
And just rest.
Boys are doing very good in the VFL.
Yep. It was a ripper game, that one, as well, down to the wire. It's always fought well, but yeah, shows what good form Footscray's in as a club, the Western Bulldogs. And I think it's going to be a hummer. It's going to be an absolute humdinger. And
it's going to be a hummer, yes.
Hold on to your pie. Hold on to your chips and your pie, and look out as the stadium shakes down at the G. Oh, jeez, you wouldn't want to be living in Richmond. You wouldn't want to be trying to go to sleep about 7:30.
Well,
sold out within about 30 minutes, I reckon.
Huh, well, there you go.
Yeah, not even Jai would be going to bed at 7.
Finals football, that's what we're all about. These are 2 teams that are got a puncher's chance.
I might try and scale the stadium, see if I can get a glimpse, see if I can be one of the Seagulls, dress up as one maybe.
Cool, so who are you going for again?
I haven't mentioned that, I don't know. I think it'll be a close one. What do they do extra time if it's a draw? They just do extra time this year?
Nah, they extra time it.
Yeah. That's the one. How long?
Until someone wins, they just keep swapping sides.
Oh, just what? One, like one.
No, they do two
a reduced quarter.
2 5-minute ends, don't they?
Yeah.
I think that's, and then that, if it's tied after that, then they replay that again.
Okay. Very interesting. Yeah.
Is
Yeah, it's 5 minutes each way. You get
The doggies. Oh, they're in just a prime form, aren't they? Just looking like hungry dogs, and you got to beware the hungry dog.
Got that dog in you.
Come on, mate. We need
Hawks,
a tip.
mate, Hawks are playing the best.
Yeah, I know.
It's a dream story with Hawthorn, isn't it? It's a dream story, and maybe the Western Bulldogs have already had their dream story back in 2016.
That was a dream story.
And then,
The Hawks didn't have their dream story in 12,
You
13.
can't have another dream story.
Can't Melbourne get a dream story?
well, they were just favourites back then. I expected it, but
They didn't
yeah.
have their dream story in 96 pre-season.
Nah, the Dogs. Hey, the Dogs. I reckon they've been waiting for September the whole year. Hawthorn are just lucky to be there, but too late. You're facing the wrong opponent. They're the Dogs.
Ooh.
Yeah, look, we're all on the front track with Mr. Parker. We're hand in hand.
Dogs need to win this as well, man.
We're
Like
hand-
because the last few finals that we've actually played in, we've been knocked out in the first round. Oh, sorry, the last two, I believe, and then we obviously made the granny. But
We don't
we
talk
haven't
about that.
made it. We haven't progressed further, than the first round for for a little bit when we've been playing finals. So there's a lot of pressure on the Dogs to win this.
Absolutely.
Good
Well,
for Bevo.
I want to say Melbourne had progressively gotten worse since we started the podcast, and not happy about it.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's not about the days, is it?
It's always about the D's. Anyway, I'm going for doggies, so let's move on to the next game. I'm always thinking about the D's. Alright, let's move on to the next game. Saturday football at the SCG. Sydney versus GWS. The battle for the bridge. Raby.
I keep this one a little shorter and briefer, I feel. I'm just all about Sydney here. I mean, I know Giants can rally in these sort of games, and I think they're going to rally pretty hard, but I just think Sydney's game style at the home ground, they're too seasoned for the Giants here. They've just been left wondering, especially the way probably even the Dogs dismantled them last week. I just thought, teams have been able to pick them apart a bit, and they rely a bit heavily on a few stars, where Sydney are just such a team. And, even at the moment, it's really tough to get into that Sydney side. I mean, who's the fella who came from Collingwood? Taylor Adams, is it? Maybe. And, he's struggling to get a spot in that side there, and that's pretty depthy, a pretty quality player. And so I just think it just gives Sydney the nod to me, just an inch. Not to say the Giants aren't right in this one up to their absolute eyeballs, but I just think Sydney just really strengthened here. They've had that little bit of run and had time just to reflect and really get together here. And I just think this is their day, and they'll get themselves into a home prelim.
There we go. Rick, what do you think about Sydney versus GWS?
So it's an absolute flip of the coin. This one, like what Sydney team rolls up,
Yeah.
and what GWS team rolls up. You know what I mean? And obviously we do this before the teams are named, so we don't actually know who's playing, but you can have a fair idea of who's in. Whitfield, averages 31 possessions this year. Green averages 31 possessions. Then you've got Goulden, who averages 27. Heaney, who's probably not going to play due to soreness. Warner's 24. You know what I mean? They're your major ball winners. Who plays better? Oh, flip of the coin. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo sort of stuff.
Oh, really? That close?
Yeah, well, it really is for me. But I'm going to go GWS this week.
Steel. What do you got?
Oh, mate, you'll love to see it. The Battle of the Bridge. Could be some fireworks at the bridge, just a bit early.
The bridge.
Just a little bit early, but yeah, definitely. Hopefully, there's some fireworks. You love to see it. They love to play with some pride up there, always. And then having been a final as well, it'll just be probably tenfold. So yeah, look out. Hopefully they just don't suspend anybody. Just players are just going to have to be prepared to hand out probably half their paycheck because there'll be some fines involved.
Really? Think it's going to be fiery.
For a line in the sand.
Yeah, it'll be all in the spirit of things. And finals footy, mate, it's going to be what it's about. It's going to be just huge.
It's going to be
definitely
wild.
GWS has just been a bit too inconsistent this year, I reckon, for mine. So I can't really tip them here. Going to have to tip Sydney and just expect that, they play well. And Errol Goodwin has a night out. And maybe their Marty party is even around.
The party happened once.
They only finished 8 points behind Sydney, so that's 2 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could go either way.
No,
I do think
we're there.
I think Sydney have the edge because they've just been more dominant and they did finish on top of the ladder, but is that a bit
Sydney
of an
just
illusion?
went on a run of. They just went on a run of what? How many games did they lose? They lost 6 out of their last 7 games.
Yeah, and I think 4 of them were in a row or something, or there was a game in between one of them, and they're all very soon. I think they won their last 3, but then the last 4 out of 5 before that they lost. So it's they hit a losing streak just before the finals, but then picked it up with a few wins near the end of the home and away season. So it's sort of well, where are they? Are they going to fall back into that? Or was that just a little hiccup along the road?
5 losses in a row.
The Port Adelaide game was the concerning one because they lost by 120.
That was the big one. Yeah. And other than St Kilda, the other teams that beat them were pretty good teams.
Well, so all of them were good teams. I mean,
except Freo, I guess. But yeah,
Richmond.
I'm not counting Richmond because that was earlier in the year. That was a while. But yeah, no, I get what you mean.
We have to mention it every week. So.
I'm just talking about the ones that were in that 5 streak, whatever.
So they had a full side in as well. They had a full squad and they lost to Richmond, who were on the bottom of the ladder. You know what I mean? So it goes to show.
They just weren't taking it seriously. Surely. But we'll see what happens. Anyway.
They play Gadigal really well, though. It's their home deck. And it's a lot smaller.
Last year, the Giants lost to West Coast in round 2. So, Giants ended up playing in a prelim. So, I think for the fact that actually Sydney lost to Richmond in round about 4 or something, it's actually an omen now that I'm just lining up. I just thought of it as you were saying it.
Oh, that's a Sydney omen that you're just lining up.
Yeah, well, maybe it takes that really shit team at the start of the year to make you be like, right, that's it. And but interesting that last year the Giants got all the way to the prelim after starting 0-5 last year as well, or maybe not 0-5, but 0-4 or something. And they did lose to West Coast in that patch at the start of last year, but then obviously gathered it. And Sydney, they had that patch towards the end, but
but they've gone back on the bike.
Their good is that good that I think you have to take that into your consideration as well. But what a humdinger of a game, all of them.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on this last one. I mean,
well, I'm not even up to it. You don't even know who I'm tipping.
I'm just thinking about it already.
All right. Well, let me do my tip so we can get to it then. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go GWS. I think this one's gonna shake it up. Let's go GWS.
Their best
wild card.
I reckon they can definitely win it. Yeah, the best team should win.
They can absolutely win it. They got a chance.
Absolutely.
It's not that far out of the realm of possibility. So I'm gonna
You watch Lockie Whitfield have 35 possessions on the weekend.
Jesse Hogan
streaming off
goals.
the halfback.
You heard it here first.
Maybe not 6, but a lot. That'd be nice. That'd be fun. All right. Well, let's move on to the last game of the qualifying final round Brisbane versus Carlton at the Gabba. Mr. Daniel Raby, who do you have?
Oh, look, I mean, I just found a Fenno fun fact card. Another one of his Fenno fun fact cards that I must have got delivered down in. He must have left them last time he came down. I think he dropped a handful of them. They've just been scattered all over my house. But let's see what we have here. Who was named best and fairest of Carlton Football Club in 2016?
2016.
It's a safe bet to say Patrick Cripps, isn't it?
2016. I don't know if he was quite.
Nah, I don't think Cripper Cripper would have been too young back then.
He might have maybe got drafted around 16.
Juddy?
Well,
No.
Raby knows the
Juddy's still
answer. He's
playing
reading
then?
the card, so if he's saying
Nah,
no,
Juddy wouldn't have been playing then.
I'm sure Fenno would
Everyone
have
gets
know
guessed.
the answer, but
of course.
the man that is going to return this week after having a knee injury, what,
Pockety.
5 months ago? On the 18th of March, the man
Bring
did
it.
his knee
Take note.
against the Lions
Up at the Gabba.
up at the Gabba after winning the best and fairest back in 2016. That same man, same Doherty, the Doc, will I've just been confirmed. I just got a message from Vossi, just confirming, saying that tell the boys on All for Footy that the Doc's going to play.
Well, I reckon he's going to be a bit scared, mate, because, we'll just have in his mind flashbacks of back then, that day in March, that fateful day.
I don't think he'll be scared, mate. He's
Stepping
stepped
back
through
in
83 days.
mate.
He's stepping
Bit-
back on the same day.
That's a pretty quick recovery for an ACL. Like, that's really, really quick. It's not even a year. Usually an ACL season ending.
Yeah, coming back to up against a fierce Brisbane Lions side. No. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that weak shit.
So look, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't exactly fill you with a lot of confidence coming out of the Blues camp on there. But you know, they're not bringing him back in lightly, and they say he's been training the house down. And regardless of the match this week, he would have probably been around the mark for pushing for a selection. Not traditional that you would come back in for a final, but being such a pivotal club man,
Yeah.
winning the 2016 Carlton Best and Fairest. I mean, Rick, have you ever won the Carlton Best and Fairest?
Yeah, twice.
Not the Carlton one.
Oh, no, not Carlton. No.
Have you ever won the Carlton? You know, I never won it.
Football.
You know, he must be a rock solid Carltonian to be in that sort of a prestige. But it just, I mean, I'm really close to tipping Carlton here. I'm really
You're
sniffing
wearing a beanie.
a bit of a just to throw, you know, just there's something about the way the Carlton's going to go up there and attack this, and yeah. So you know what, I'm gonna give him the chance. You know, obviously,
You're wearing the
not being-
beanie. You have to.
Yeah, no, look, you know, it's a comfortable beanie too, and
I'm hearing that.
for Hawkeye out there, obviously, as well. You know, I mean, he's trying to make Jai's team Carlton, and you know, I think he'll settle on him being his second to maybe third team with the doggies settling in there somewhere too. And
I guess
but,
so.
you know, but I think, yeah, it'd be great for the Carlton people to get this win. And again, like I said about the Dogs, if Carlton win, watch out. I mean, they're just going to build a relish of momentum if they win this. And
They're going to have 6 ins. 6 ins this week.
yeah, it's
All
a tough
fresh
one.
from injury.
Tough
Jack
one.
Martin, Sarah, Tom DeConey, Zach Williams, Mitch McGovern might be coming back in as well. Like with Charlie Curnow, like, geez, it's going to be hard to tip against them.
I'm liking their chances actually in a round. I mean, you know, on paper, the teams, you know, Carlton have been so good now for a long time, and you know, their team amongst a few guys with a few niggles is bloody good still. So this game's more 50-50 than it builds up, I reckon. And
Yeah, we'll guess we'll have to see. All right, Rick. Brisbane versus Carlton. Who you got?
Well, like he was just saying, like there's a lot of ins in this week for that, you know, are expected to come in for Carlton.
what about Cripper versus Neil? What a battle!
Oh, see, that's a great battle. But like Zorko will go into his job, Danaher will do his job. I reckon Charlie's due for a bag.
Mhm.
Absolutely
Okay.
due for a bag. So,
Old country road.
If Brisbane
Yeah.
let him.
the last time these teams played as well, Carlton won by a point. So there's quite a few things that play here. But I reckon being up at the Gabba, I reckon they'll be singing "Take Me Home," Country Road, at the end of the night.
Oh, well, there we go. All right, Steelo.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're back in Carlton, yeah?
I'll give him a chance in Buckley's. I reckon they're about they're about done. They're about cooked. They've had a rough patch, leading up to the finals, and the fans have been pretty much ready to cut their membership in half. And this is going to be the opportunity. This is going to be it. Get your scissors ready, and
Heard it here first.
Get them ready.
It's going to be huge. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of Lions supporters there, and I reckon hopefully we can get Kerno and Mackay just kicking astray, as they're known to do.
Kicking them straight.
Absolutely.
Kicking astray.
Oh,
Just,
kicking them straight. Sounded like you said kicking
They're going
them straight.
to.
That's why we don't want McKay. That's why we don't want McKay for Petrarca. You can't have Petrarca.
As they're well known to do, they're not the straightest kicks at the best of times. So,
Yeah.
I don't really see them having that much of a chance. I reckon the Lions, as long as everything goes right, like nothing crazy, no injuries to our stars, to be able to just get the job done and march on through. I'm happy as Larry, baby.
Yeah, well, there we go. Well, look,
That's about it.
I too am jumping on the friend train with you, Steelo. We can shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand, march towards victory. Yeah, fuck Carlton. They're going to slip on banana peel today, and sorry to say. But,
We've been having good times all day. We just
Thanks,
listened to some
Brisbane.
Spotify before, and then what do we get? We get Sweet Caroline, followed by Country Roads. So all the players are going to have a big day tomorrow. I reckon Cam Rayner for 3. On Saturday, Cam Rayner for 3, Charlie for 5. Who knows, mate? Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
What would your song be, Steelo?
Hey, they'd have to get a lot of censors on the one I'd pick, I reckon.
No. You got to work with the censorship. I'm sorry, you can't just pick censorship song. You have to pick a song that you don't have to. You can't censor. So
You get something that hypes them up anyway. Just get everyone singing some metal or something.
you could.
And a bit of Batman Scoop.
Have you heard the clean version of "Not Like Us"?
No.
Oh, there's like some clean version where it's like, we take the bus. It's all about getting like good grades and stuff. I'm like, that's so fucking weird. But okay, you should check it out. It's funny. All right, well, let's move into closing thoughts, Mr. Raby.
Oh, look, I don't have too much special to offer anyone this week.
Not enough thoughts.
No, I like to keep a lot of my thoughts to myself, actually. But if anybody out there wants to get on the Awful Footy page and like and subscribe, feel free. We're always looking for new members and people to join into our tipping competition next year.
Yeah,
we're going
absolutely.
to. It's just going to be a huge tipping competition next year, and if the first prize was anything to go by this year, I can only imagine where it'll go to next year as it builds season into a pretty big deal. I reckon. Give us 10 years, we'll be launching this thing from Vegas. So
It's Vegas.
Just to all the people out there, thanks, and just keep tuning in week out, and you can get on the Awful Footy merchandise page and buy your merch, and look out for the bumper stickers that might be coming.
Oh, look out for a lot of things that might be coming. All right, Rick, closing thoughts.
I still want my hat.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm excited for this week's round of footy because we have 4 bloody humdinger games on. And so I'm going to be parked up on the couch all weekend, I reckon. And I'll be watching every single game.
You.
And maybe twice. Maybe twice.
Depends
and
on how
also,
Friday night goes.
Well, it'll go all right, mate. I'll watch them. I'll watch them. But also, you know, might chuck some rugby on as well. You know, because the dogs in the NRL are doing pretty good at the moment. So
Okay.
We got North Queensland this week.
yeah, we got the Cowboys this weekend. So that should be a good game as well.
And they're in the 8th, aren't they?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, no, sitting 5th.
About time, you know. It's been a few years since you've been in the 8, and good to see the dogs and the dogs in the 8 for you there, Mr. Parker.
Well, it's been a long time, mate. It has been a very long time. So, no, happy weekend's footy for me, I suppose. And this is the last week of the NRL anyway. So,
isn't that what they say? They say happy Tyson, happy life.
That's it. That's it.
Little man's stoked. He's got his doggies everywhere, all in the finals. So.
You bloody ripper. Yeah, no, so that's going to be my weekend, and I look forward to coming back next week and talking about the round that we've just had.
That's it, eh? That's it. That's it. Steelo, closing thoughts.
My song would be Pretty Fly for a white guy.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely a clean version of that, a radio edit, if you will.
Would they tune
I love that song.
Would it be... They drew a 31, but would it be that bit? They drew a 13, but it drew a 31.
You know it doesn't get it anyway. And all that
He's talking about getting a tattoo, and he asked for a 13, but they drew a 31.
Yeah,
at least you know you could always go on Ricky Lake. Because, all the people down at the footy, probably half of them should be on Ricky Lake, I reckon, from some of the people I see down there.
I feel like... I feel like it was actually pretty hard to get on Ricky Lake. I feel like it was probably a bit of a contest to get on there. I don't think it was that easy.
I should be on Jerry Springer then.
I think Jerry Springer was harder. Jerry would have been harder to get on.
Go on Maury then.
Yeah.
I went on the Marnbrook Footy show once. That was fun.
Oh, lovely.
That was good.
Fair
That
enough.
was good.
Fair enough.
That was good.
The best of the best.
Cool.
Weren't you on the bounce as well?
Hey,
Weren't you on the bounce as well?
I featured on the bounce, yes, with a good mate Spud.
Yes.
Actually, rest, bless his soul, old Spudley. And look, I get around on a few shows. You know, I mean, at the moment, I'm just enjoying this show week in, week out. But you know,
All for footy.
who knows? Wind will take me after this show. You know, I might find myself on numerous of other shows. All for Nothing might come call and knock on my door one day.
All for nothing. Coming soon to YouTube near you. All right. Well, my closing thoughts
Make it rain.
is Bruce Rando not streaming this weekend potentially. Oh no.
Nuts.
Problems with his PS5. If you watched his stream Friday night, you'd know what he's talking about.
Right, PS5 Pro's coming.
Yeah, well, I need it because this one I need to get fixed. So, oh well.
Overused.
Maybe. Look, there's some sick games out lately, and yeah, they do take up a lot. So, is what it is. But no, look, great week of footy ahead.
Hello, Lions.
That's all I got on my mind.
It's a miniature line right there.
So that's my closing thoughts this week.
And we'll be looking forward to a grand final pod from the Gold Coast this year.
Absolutely, the Gold Coast trip, and we'll be recording with Ryan in the same room live.
I believe we might have Mr. Parker giving us a representation from Victoria. Would that be correct?
Possibly, if you can make it.
Well, I'm not going to the Gold Coast.
We invited you. You said you couldn't come.
Did you miss the memo on this one too, bro?
I can pick you up in
He
the
was
car
invited. He's fucking with us.
But yeah, you just need to make enough space in your backyard, and I'll drop the bird down.
Even Knackers is coming.
Really?
No.
Fair enough. We invited you. Fuck, Jesus. You decided you didn't want to come. But will you be on the grand final pod? The quiz pod?
I might make an appearance.
What about
Grand Final Friday?
Well, because I'll be playing golf that day.
Grand Final Friday.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
mate. Yeah, BGA's coming back around, mate. So getting the golf back into us.
No, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
that's
enough.
PGA true too. I'll miss the first event, but I should be in town for the second event, and the season will get humming once it'll get into round 2 and 3.
Mm. Should be some nice hot days playing golf.
Ugh, sounds horrible.
Yeah,
But
the
yeah.
Mal crew. Yeah, when it gets too hot, go to the Mal crew.
Get Mel Crew
Mal
out.
crew, Mal crew crewing it up. That is true. That is true. All right, well,
Mal Michael.
I think that'll do it from us at All for Footy, and we're out.